have you ever just stopped and wondered what's really going on inside your phone? I mean, it's not magic, right? It's microchips. But how do we get from a simple idea like an if this, then that, to the unbelievably powerful processors that pretty much run our entire world? Okay, let's dive into that journey from pure logic to actual physical silicon.
So, yeah, how does that happen? Let's trace the path from just a concept, a thought in someone's head, to a tangible working microchip that you can literally hold in your hand.
Every great project starts with a plan. And for a microchip, that plan, that blueprint, is made of pure logic. It is the absolute foundation for everything that comes next.
Our whole journey really breaks down into 3 core stages. First, we design the logic with something called a schematic. Then we create the physical layout. And finally, and this is crucial, we test everything virtually to make sure it all works. That's the fundamental flow, the recipe that turns a cool idea into a working design.
So, the first tool in our belt is called Dissertation. You can think of it as a kind of digital drawing board. It's where engineers use all these symbols for things like logic gates and connect them up with wires. The most important thing to get about this stage is that it's all about one thing, making sure the logic is absolutely perfect before we even think about building it for real. This is where the chip's intelligence is born.
Here's a great way to think about it. A schematic is to a microchip what a blueprint is to a skyscraper. Seriously, it shows you all the parts and how they're all connected, but it's not showing you the actual physical steel beams or the concrete, you know? It's all about the what, not the how. Not yet, anyway.
Okay, so now we're leaving that world of abstract symbols behind, and we're stepping into the physical realm. This is where we have to figure out how to actually arrange millions, or sometimes even billions, of tiny transistors on a little piece of silicon.
And this lays out the difference perfectly. The schematic is the what. All those abstract symbols that define the logic. The layout, on the other hand, is the how, the actual physical arrangement of the transistors and wires. And this step is so critical because how efficiently you pack those components together directly impacts the chip's final speed and how much power it uses. They're 2 totally different worlds, and they need 2 totally different tools. And the tool for that physical world is microwind. What it does is kind of amazing. It takes that logical blueprint from DSH and translates it into a real-world city plan for the chip. It shows exactly where every single tiny component is going to live on the silicon wafer.
So, let's take one of the most basic building blocks, something like an inverter or an AND gate. In our schematic, it's just a simple symbol, right? A clean, abstract way to show a logical function.
But in the physical layout, that simple symbol becomes this, a specific, complex arrangement of transistors. You know, those are the tiny on-off switches that are the basis of all modern electronics. This right here is the visual leap from pure logic to physical reality. You're not looking at an idea anymore, you're looking at a design that can actually be built.
Okay, so we've got our logical blueprint and we have our physical city plan. But before we send this off to a factory, we need to be absolutely 100% sure that it works. And that's where simulation comes in. It's the critical virtual test run.
So why go to all this trouble? Well, because simulation lets engineers predict exactly how the chip is going to behave. They can analyze signal timing, estimate how much power it's going to guzzle, and, this is the big one, catch tiny little errors that could completely ruin the project, and they catch them before it's too late.
And believe me, the stakes are incredibly high. A single mistake, just a tiny flaw in the design that makes it to fabrication, can cost a company millions of dollars in wasted materials and time. There are no do-overs once you start manufacturing. And that's why simulation isn't just an optional step. It is an absolute lifeline in modern chip design. It's the safety net that ensures a design is solid before you commit to that super expensive and irreversible process of making the thing for real.
So that's the process. But why does understanding all of this matter so much? Well, it's because the people who can navigate this journey, from the logic to the layout, they are the very same people who are building our technological future.
And the demand for these skills, it's just exploding. It's not just in consumer electronics anymore. We're talking cars, telecommunications, even aerospace. All these industries are desperate for engineers who can design the custom chips that power their latest innovations. This is exactly why hands-on tools like microwind are so valuable. They bridge that gap between what you read in a textbook and what happens in the real world. For students and beginners, being able to visualize how a circuit becomes a physical layout, that's what makes these complex ideas finally click. It speeds up learning and it sparks new ideas.
So, to recap our little journey,
Microchips start as abstract ideas. The design process is always split into two key phases, the logical schematic and the physical layout. Virtual simulation is completely non-negotiable if you want to avoid costly mistakes. And mastering these skills, well, that's your ticket to becoming a key innovator in tomorrow's world.
Ultimately, it all comes down to this. Every single microchip that has ever changed the world started as a simple idea in someone's mind. The tools to turn those ideas into reality are more accessible today than they have ever been. So the only question left is, what will you build?